Hi, Sag. This is your tarot reading for the month of January in 2020. Now, when I get into it all, I'm getting into a lot of what Spirit's giving me is a lot of self-communication. Self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Liberating energy. And are you communicating it to yourself right? This is technically in a form of getting into your inner emotional security by tapping into that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. But I'm getting some blocked chakras in the crown where you're looking for the higher energy, but on your terms is what it feels like. There's definitely some, like I said, unblocking of that crown chakra, the third eye and crown, higher crown. Getting too much into the intellect, too much into the details. Very Aquarius is what I'm picking up. Very overanalyzing it to fit your terms, to understand from your point of view, but you're not seeing the bigger projective point of view is what I'm getting. But you are getting cues, getting warning signs being handed to you of things that you need to take action on. And this isn't like spiritual action. This is like physical, in the real world, material action. Things that need to change, change, shift, some kind of action that needs to take place in order to get you in the right direction for where it is either you're wanting to go, you should be going, but it all has to do with if you're getting the right communication with yourself. From that higher point of view, from a higher self-realization, from a higher spiritual truth, spiritual urge. But I'm definitely feeling like there's a blocked energy coming through where it's the higher education isn't matching the higher self. I just really feel like you're battling with it. Let's see. Sag. For January 2020. Sag. Oh, yeah, you're still talking. Now, you're going to be going through the second and third house anyway, which is self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, possessions, money, small movable possessions, like furniture, clothing, phones, cars. Self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. And then you're going into that third house, which is communication. But it's also siblings, neighbors, short journeys. And I say the two houses because until the 20th, technically we're in Capricorn season, and then we move into Aquarius season. And for you, on some level, as a Sagittarius, that means it's in those two houses. But I really got, more than any place else, this is affecting that, I guess, top three chakras, like your throat chakra, your third eye, and your crown. Tell me about Sagittarius for the month of January. for some of you, you're not going to see a full shifting change come into full perception until July. Or you're going back and paying attention to things that's happened since July. Depending on who I'm talking to. But it all has to do with ethics and morals. Ethics, morals, spiritual orders, higher education from that higher mind. And I'm getting deliveries. It could be the phone calls, text messages, the way it's being given to you. Communication in one form. But they're saying you're in this. This is one of my sacred geometry decks. This card means don't push. Don't push. You're in a cocoon stage. This is kind of like the Hanged Man. It's not that there's any problem. You're going through a rebirthing. You're going through a rebirthing. A new illumination, a new viewing, a new clarity, a new category, new level of something. But you've been pulling away from your oneness. Because this is the golden spiral in here, and you're pulling away from that golden spiral. You've been pulling away from the golden spiral. You've been holding on to the separateness that's been taking it away from you. So in one form, I feel, like I said, you aren't connecting with that higher connection. You're connecting, for some of you, you're connecting with the religion, the rules, the ideals that have been taught to you other than the higher spiritual, soulful connection that you know is true. You're connecting to those patterns that society is trying to change, or I should say, are about to start changing but aren't comfortable with. You've been holding on to areas like that. You've been holding on to, not letting go of that separateness. You're holding on to the idea that the oneness isn't really oneness. I mean, there's, like I said, you've been keeping yourself from that connection and its growth, its maturity, its oneness, its soulfulness, its warm hug of truth. And there's most likely something here that you fear, that you have to change. That's what I'm getting. Tell me more about the platform. Tell me more about the platform for Sagittarius. What I'm getting is, what's happening is I'm looking at this card. The butterfly is moving. And it's flapping its wings, but it's not going anywhere. And I feel like that's kind of what the energy is speaking of. Like it's flapping its wings, but there's no liftoff. It's just exhausting itself doing it, and it's not really getting where it needs to be going. This is, you're coming into a new level of finding your spiritual beginning. And like I said, you've been kind of just in a standstill. You're coming into a new self-realization is what they just said to me. You're coming into a new self-realization, which is bringing you to finding your spiritual beginning, finding your own inner dream time, following the spirals to know your very own place in this world. So this is actually a good thing. It just may be moving slower than you would like. Being a Sagittarius, you're all over the place. And you want what you want, and you want it right now, but that's not necessarily the way it sounds like it's coming. This is also asking you to inventory, re-look at, revalue your pursuit of pleasure, is what I'm being given. Tell me more about the platform for Sagittarius for the month of January. The platform for the month of January for Sagittarius. Misunderstood and introverted energies. Yeah. You may be listening too much to others' opinions, others' views, which might be keeping you from truly getting on board with your own soulful view. Please tell me what I'm missing for Sagittarius. Completion, but in reverse. It is the Four of Wands, completion, but in reverse. So yeah, this, I'm feeling like very much Hangman energy, like Hangman slash Hermit energy. The Hermit is meant to help you find the light. So is, in its own way, the Hanged Man. It's coming in reverse. You're not coming to the completion because you're not getting to the point, which is making you kind of staying stagnant. I feel like you're taking on too many people's opinions and you're not really listening to your own. You're grounded in the idea of what has been, the patterns, the, society, the rules and whatnot. And even though you are a higher spiritual thinker, soulfully, you might be too scattered to slow down and get it right. Because this is asking you, to weigh out your pros and your cons. To, be able to create that inner peace and get past that stagnant energy and start something new, but you're just not going anywhere. You're just staying in this misunderstood, introverted, over tackling yourself instead of coming into the true spiral of yourself and learning to find your way, learning to bloom. Like I said, a butterfly that's just flapping, but it's not really going anywhere. It's hovering is what I'm getting. And this is putting you on a new path in one form. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing for Sagittarius for this platform for January? Okay, well, these are the building blocks to get you in the right place, but you've got to trust yourself. This is success. But what I'm hearing is another card in my head. And I can't even remember which card it is. But what I'm hearing in my head is there's a difference between success and, material value of happily ever after versus soulful happily ever after. If you're going after what materialistically is tangible and on paper looks good, soulfully you may find that you're empty. And I feel like you're being given an opportunity to choose. to define what you truly see as successful. Money, power versus soul and higher knowledge. Because one, I said it a couple weeks ago, glory. Glory is always short-lived. If you're going after the wrong success, it will be short-lived. Either way, you will have an abundance of it come at you. So it's up to you to choose free will as to which direction you want to take it. And like I said, you're going to be in self-worth, self-value, self-esteem versus possessions and money. So this could very much be very positive for you. But like I said, you don't want to pick something that's going to be hollow. You want to pick something that you can treasure and keep in here. And if you're picking something that brings financial stability to you and still keeps you in here healthy, then that's making the right choice. I feel like that's where you're needing to listen to. I'm next getting the Knight of Wands. This is meaning going after what you want. Swift, sudden changes of action, going after what you want. But with the Queen of Cups. So this could be very much going after what you want with passion and glory, but this could also, the Queen of Cups is the Queen of Love. So this could be a very positive thing if you're getting deep. But at the same time, are you getting so deep that you've turned on the empathic energy to where it's ripping you apart? Kind of like, are you so sensitive that you burned yourself down to where it's just ash? Or are you equally balancing that fire and water is what I'm trying to get at. It seems like this is moving into relationships anyway, so let's just go into relationships. Up close and personal relationships in your life. I'm getting social foundations, though. Up close and personal relationships for Sagittarius. Up close and personal relationships. And like I said, I've been saying we're coming to relationships and of all kinds. Relationships taking a major turn. You know, patterns that have been so for 20, 30, 40 years are coming to an end because we're realizing that they weren't healthy. We're learning how to go after what is healthy. It could be the fire and the water, too. It could be, you know, the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands coming together. What I'm getting is infinity. Knowing, continuum wisdom, knowing the threefold, beyond measure, beyond the 3D, coming into a new clarity within these relationships of what is up close and personal to you. Tell me more about up close and personal relationships for Sag. Up close and personal relationships for Sag. I'm getting morals with sex. For some of you, you're starting to come into where you need to have morals with sex, apparently. This is balancing your chakras. This is speaking to you of constant change, yet still perfect. Progress, multidimensional. Oh, not chakras. I read it wrong. Acknowledging where you are on your path along this level of infinity. What have you learned spiritually? Where are you standing on your path, and where are you trying to go? And where is these two coming together versus these relationships? And like I said, for some of you, I'm getting casual sex is starting to not be fun is what I'm getting, actually. Movement towards strength, completion, growth, joy, freedom. Acknowledge the progress. This is telling you, you know, look for something more. Eternal forces honor relationship with the earth. This is saying honor yourself. Take some honor with your own. Take a little bit of your own spoon of medicine and give yourself that very same love you talk about to others. This is making sure that you are honoring yourself right. You're spiritually maturing right. You're spiritually growing and making the right and healthy decisions for yourself, for your goals, your hopes, your ambitions, your visions, your wisdom, your reputation, your relationships that you have with others, as well as your relationship with yourself. This is coming across the board for you. This is a rebirth of what pleasure is. Coming into a higher level of rebirthing. Fulfillment within the relationships. Transformational healing within the relationships. Fulfillment of the relationships. Resurrection and rebirth within them. This is definitely a positive thing. And this could be a relationship that is coming back, rekindling, relighting the flame, maybe going back over and making corrections. But this could definitely just be about rekindling a flame with yourself. And I feel like it's definitely about rekindling a relationship with yourself. You have the Empress and you have Four of Cups. So this is in one way, you're definitely going back for something. You're going back to either, you know, re-get your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. Liberate yourself on a higher spiritual, soulful energy. Connecting that crown with the higher chakras. Nurturing yourself. Birthing yourself. And a new kind of selflessness. And a new kind of appreciation, a new kind of love. Either for someone you left behind, or for yourself, and what you believe of yourself, what you honor of yourself. Like I said, it's either honoring yourself or honoring yourself and the relationship with a new level of a newfound of appreciation, a newfound realization of a blessing that's there, new level of becoming your inner oracle, walking through the door and rebirthing. By nurturing what is needed, lifting to that elevation, either of a relationship with someone else or with yourself. You've got the Wheel of Fortune. Everything is good. It is definitely good for you. I mean, even though Jupiter's moved out of, you know, is about to move out, you know, and he's in, I mean, he's not about to, he's moved out and he's in Capricorn, but that's still in your liberation zone. That's still in Capricorn, which is your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, going to be there for a year. You have a brand, and this is turning of a new leaf, coming into a new higher elevation, a new spirituality, and this is maturity, soulfully, spiritually, egotistically. Everything in the relationships and everything. I just feel like I keep getting, you know, like hit and runs just aren't worth it anymore. You know, like you're evolving above that. For those of you who, you know, do that, that this is, you're coming from a much deeper level of what will bring you pleasure in life and realizing it. But you got the Princess of Swords here too. So there's definitely some emotional energies going on. Very grounded in your ideas, very grounded in your emotions, very much full of controversy, fighting within yourself of what to do in this case. But like I said, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is saying that's ego. That is full on ego, and you need to let that go. Tell me what's going on in your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. Finances, goals, dreams, ambitions, finances, that outer community. You've got it's saying closed heart, closed joy, new perspectives are needed. So, I mean, it's, maybe you need to find a new job. I mean, maybe this is going, if it's not going for your higher connection, your higher truth, if it goes against you, why are you still doing it? And I know financially, sometimes we do a lot of things that we don't want to do because we don't feel like we have that choice. But you can always start working your way out of that. This is saying, you know, if you've got a closed heart, closed joy, finding new perspectives, that's her fighting you. That's that ego fighting you. And it's going to keep you from being able to get what you're after. What else is going on in the outer world that they need? Defeat. This is believing in everybody and what they've been telling you. This is fear, sabotage, disbelief, destruction. This is feeling like, this is holding on to all of those old ways. Those old ways, because you can't believe that the new ways, the new beginnings, all of this new change is spiritually connecting you. Like I said, I feel scattered. I'm feeling right off the bat like it's this butterfly with all these brilliant ideas. Black is fear, but black is also protective. Yellow is illuminating and joy. So are you fearing taking that chance? Or do you believe in that chance? Because right there is what all of this comes down to. Will you lift off? Or will you just stay stagnant and hover? This has everything to do with that crown chakra and the belief. Being able to bring that into your self-awareness and believe in it. And that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, morals, ethics, spiritual urges. Coming into your truths and what you want to do with it from there. It all comes down to, where will you take it? I love you guys. Bye.